Madeleine died in the apartment by an accident and we hid her body.
We've obviously hidden her somewhere incredibly well where nobody's found her. We hid her so well that we then decided we'd move her in the car, which we hired weeks later.
Back again. Time to go to work. Kinda wish I was going to Sand City instead. Do a bollocks. Let's go. This is day 3 of my search. I'm back up on Monte do Jose Mestre. Spent the morning doing stretches, trying to alleviate my knackered hip. A couple of months ago, started hurting. Don't know why. Came out of nowhere. It was so bad that there was days where I could hardly walk, but progressively got better and better. But then Sod's Law hit, and the day before, the day I flew over a few days ago, it's just been getting worse and worse, and I fear that this search could be over as quickly as it's begun. I got sent some stretches to do this morning, which seemed to have helped a bit, and leathered it in deep heat, and seemed to be relatively pain-free, so I thought I'd get in the car, because the car does it no favours. So I jumped in the car and got up here, and we'll see how we get on. Pat Brown says, when she was looking for this place, right where Jerry's phone was pinging, when she came down the road, this is right off the main road, and you can see it from the main road. It just goes up into nothing, and Pat saw it, Jerry will have seen it, and he did that route so many times in the weeks after Madeleine's disappearance. So coming up that road, I was out here for hours yesterday scouting the place, and then coming up it again today. Coming up the road, I do not see anywhere where you could just pull over and take care of business either side of the road. It either drops off, or the ground's too hard, or, like I say, there's cars going down it. Not many, but it happens. And I just don't think you would take that chance until you get to the crossroads that I mentioned yesterday, and then if you go to the right, there's a property down there, and there's a sign saying no go, because it's some municipal thing, I don't know. But if you hang a left, which I'm trying to put myself in the mindset, if I had a body and it was smelling bad and we need it out of the way quick, when I got to that crossroads, when you look straight, it goes down, so it's kind of the unknown. You go left and it just looks a bit more out into nowhere. So like I say, you hang that left, and then again there's nothing either side until you get to this turn in here, and you come down here to this crossroads, and I'm convinced that down that way is where Pat came. She posted a few pictures of this place on her blog, The Daily Profiler, and I'm sure that it was down there. The road is so knackered now. You got to think, it's 18 years later. I got the car down there yesterday. I'm not going to be doing it again because you can't see from here, but it's absolutely knackered, and if I get stuck up here, yeah, we don't want that. So this is where I'm going to be starting. I'm going to be going down there, I'm going to be going down there and down there, into the bushes, into the trees and all that, but I'm actually going to start here because there's a few little nibbles that just go off, and I've had the shovel out and you can dig through there. I know it looks crazy and dense, but it's got to be done. So I'm heading in there first, then I'm going to go down there, because that, when you get down there, the view is what Pat Brown was talking about, how you can see the Rocca Negra and all that, which she theorised there might be some importance for the position of where Madeleine was left, but not going to take too much stock in that, because I also agree that Jerry, even though Kate probably would have said, you know, he's got to have a view or some kind of, you know, importance, I think Jerry would have just been like, sod that, get it done, so she is not found, bosh, we get on with it. So yeah, this is where I am today, and hopefully my hip will hold out and I can do more, but we'll just have to see what happens. I'd like to introduce you to my main boy right here. This is who's going to be my partner in crime for this search. This is Gonzalo, my metal detector. If anyone's wondering why I have a metal detector, those who know about the case know about the missing blue sports bag that was photographed in the McCann's bedroom, in the wardrobe, funnily enough, where Eddie the cadaver dog signalled in that corner of the apartment. Well, that blue bag seemed to go missing, and there was a lot of talk about it. Famously, David Payne, in his rogatory interviews with the Leicestershire Police, was asked about it, and he famously said that there was a bag, but it wasn't big enough to hide a tennis racket in. These statement analysts out there know that that's a red flag right there. Who hides a tennis racket in a sports bag? But anyway, the bag will have a zipper, as the Americans call it, a zip, and that could be detected with a metal detector. So again, it's another part of this story which is a long shot, but it's got to be done. It's interesting when you read all the interviews that Leicestershire did with the tapas group. In every one of them interviews they get around to subtly weaving their way in about the McCanns playing tennis and how much gear and equipment they brought with them, subtly trying to sneak in a bit of a question about the sports bag. But yeah, it's only really David Payne that dropped the ball on that one. So I spent the last 3.5 hours walking up and down these little dirt roads off the main road, and I've had a few hits with Gonzalo, the metal detector, and every time I dig, rock solid. The only place I found that I can dig was off the main road, by the side of the main road. I dug that hole yesterday with ease, but all down these roads I've been up and down and gone through little cut throughs, but it's so dense, all this stuff. Even just finding a way in, it's tricky. And I've been into every little avenue that I've come across, and it is rock solid. So I can only assume that if our boy came down here, he would have had a hell of a time finding a place to dig. Bear in mind, I've got a shovel that is like a goddamn razor. He might have had the same. He might have had a better one. I don't know. But now I'm thinking, given how quickly I dug that hole yesterday, it's not impossible to think that he probably just turned that corner went halfway down and thought, right, let's move. And if that's the case, then all that flat land on the side of that main road, no hope, mate. It's massive. Massive. So, throws a bit of a spanner into the plan. But I don't know anything about trees and bushes and all that. I know that I'm here in a not too dissimilar time than when it probably happened, but it's quite overgrown over there. There is one little track on the right of it that I saw yesterday, and I went to go down it, but it was just too tight because everything had grown into the track, and it was a little bit much. So I will mangle Pat. So I'm gonna walk it. I'm gonna go back and go right off this track, and then go and walk down there, because that did look interesting. Should probably point out that if these videos aren't boring enough already, then they ain't gonna get more exciting, because while I'm walking around, hobbling around, there's just no point in filming anything, because all you'll be doing is looking at the ground at a shovel. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with these videos. I know that I got speaking to a few people on YouTube about what I was doing, and they were very supportive and interested in what I was going to be getting up to. So, you know, I was true to my word, and I will post what I get up to, but just warning you, might be a bit naff. I don't really want to be, as you can see that I've been past the Ocean Club a few times, but at the end of the day, it's like it is someone's house, and the people of Praia da Luz, they've had this crap for 18 years. Little knobheads like me going around with a camera, and we're curious, and we want to look. But, you know, I said before coming here, it's like I don't want to annoy anyone or cause anyone any grief, you know, more than what they've had. So, you know, plus they don't need another short, skinny, balding gimp with a selfie stick. I don't even want that. So yeah, we'll just see what happens.